ridden, overfed it. Picked up instead by the Trevians. To the near side. Bernier up ahead for Cherubini. Chris Cherubini into the zone. Took the shot. Weak shot over to the far side. Segala. Out and cleared. And back into the Trevians' end of things. That's where Bill Heath has it. Now Cherubini. Pop free. There's the shot busted up by Rick Weil. Rick Weil comes back the other way with it. Weil stops. Near side. Now there's a shot whistled wide and dumped to the near side. Bernier dumped it back behind the net. Centered. Bernier couldn't get the shot away through traffic. He got hit up high. Nothing called. Scott Dioper got him. To the side of the net. Trevians. And a new Trier player in the crease. Rick Weil through the crease. Both teams skating a little tentatively as they step out here on the ice. I think that's probably the jitters of playing in a place like Chicago Stadium. Now the draw comes back and dumped into the zone. Jeremy Mounts. Pentracosta now cleared ahead. Segala. I take that back. That's not Segala. That's Eric Laporte. That's the big shooting line for Marist. Mounts with the shot from the point. Now Marte. Marte got it out to center ice. Picked up by Riemann. Riemann dumps it all the way down into the zone. That's where Jeremy Mounts has it. Mounts wraps it around to the near side. Eric Laporte. Laporte with Malmstrom, the forechecker, now into the neutral end. Pat Dahl. He got bumped up high. Malmstrom. Pentracosta, center ice. Laporte sends it to the far side and dumped in on the long shot. Taken to the far side. Marte knocked down. Walks. Give and go play up ahead for Marte. Malmstrom. Marte dumps it into the zone. Pimento left it on the near side. Tom Dine. And offside. Bill Heath sent it in offside. We are going to have to deal with some longer breaks between the drops of the puck due to the Sports Channel commercial spots. Now the face-off. Patience, far side. Heath dumps it in back behind the net. Off a leg. Centered. Segala. Brian Segala. Heavy check on Chris Cherubini. Cleared the length of the ice by the Trevians. That's going to be icing, and it is icing against New Trier. New Trier got here based on that exciting 3-2 victory over the Glenbrook North Spartans in the game you saw on the Metro Chicago Sports Network 2 weeks ago. John Patience back behind the net. Patience takes it to the far side, up ahead. Cleared out to the high slot, held in by Pentracosta. Back behind the net, Bill Heath. Heath being bothered by Riemann. Near side, Bernier. Bernier tried to backhand it out of the zone. Now took it on his forehand and cleared it out to center ice. All the way down into the Marist end of things. Bernier took the man. Out to the high slot. Back in tight for Bernier. That misconnections on a pass for Bernier. Jeremy Mounts broke it up. Now here come the Marist Redskins. Eric Laporte centered. There's the shot and the save by Sam Eaton. on the shot from the slot. New Trier. John Patience with the big cranker and the save by Cometto. On the blast from the high slot. And Jeremiah Cometto comes up with the save. Marist has only 2 seniors out there. Matt Hunt, who sees only limited action, and Tony Pentracosta. Everybody else is underclassmen. Pentracosta to the far side, dumped into the zone by Jim Jolivet, and the save. Near side, Jennings. Walks in on it, and they push it along. Out to the point, and held in by the Redskins. Chris Walks on the far side. He's bothered by Tom Dine. Walks has it on the near side, up ahead for Jennings. Out to the point, held in by Segala. Back behind the goal line. Walks. Jolivet. Marte couldn't get it out of the zone. Jim Jolivet. Jolivet, strong arms, one-hand shot. The save by Eaton. And a penalty coming up on New Trier for holding. Matt Pearsall, a minor for holding. At 9:17 of the period. Pearsall for holding at 9:17 of the period. The draw is on the near side. Heath tried to get it out of the zone. Sent to the far side, back out to the point. Stop looking. There's the shot. Ran into traffic. Trevians knocked it down. Bernier cleared. Mike Redden sets up the Marist power play behind his own net. Brings it straight up the ice. Ran into his own man. Here's Bernier with the breakaway. Bernier shoots, and the save by Cometto. Pentracosta dumped it into the zone. That's where Bernier has it. Eric Laporte out to the point. To the corner. Back behind the net. Centered. Again out at the point. Ran into traffic. Far side. Back to the point. Out at the blue line. There's the long shot by Tom Durkin, and we lose a puck up into the crowd. 56 seconds left on the minor. 8:13 to play here in the first period. No score. From Chicago Stadium, the state championships, New Trier Green trying to join New Trier Blue as champions this year. The draw is cleared the length of the ice. Sent to the near side. Brian Segala up ahead and missed the pass. Picked up his own pass anyway. And cleared by the Trevians out of the zone. Tom Durkin has it for Marist. Durkin sends it to the far side. Under the stick. Picked up and cleared out high by by Pat Dahl. Now into the slot. Redden couldn't get the shot away. Trevians have been doing a great job of forechecking in their own zone here. Malmstrom got it into the zone. Malmstrom centering. And the Redskins broke that down. Drop pass. Dahl swept it off the stick. Far side. Dine. Now to the slot. The drop pass out high, and Malmstrom picked that one up. Trevians tried to strong arm their way into the zone. Couldn't get around. Far side off the boards. John Patience dumps it back in for the Trevians. And Cometto will hold on with both Weil and Cherubini in on him. The Marist crowd down in front of us, the New Trier crowd on the far side. Out high, Heath to the far side. There's the shot, boomed wide. Brought again to the near side. Cherubini held in the zone. Wolf centered in tight. There's the shot, the save, and held on by Cometa with Peter Marte waiting for the rebound. We want to thank Sports Channel for granting us permission to leave our camera on this year to televise this broadcast. There's the shot, the save, the rebound back behind the net. Brought to the near side, Wolf. Cherubini right through the slot, far side. Marte back behind the goal. Cherubini into the slot. Popped free off a skate. Eric Laporte, a little miscommunication on the part of the Marist Redskins. Out at the point and offside as Wolf touches it after Heath turned around outside the zone and tried to dump it back in. I see one of our old cameramen, Eric Bowman, out in that New Trier crowd. Dump back to the red line, back into the zone, wrapped around to the far side. Bernier, pop free. Here come the Marist Redskins, over-skated. Walks. Redden, now busted into the zone by Jolivet, picked away by the Trevians. Near side, Dahl dumps it into the zone. Off the back of the backboards, and now a penalty coming up against Marist, knocking down Pat Dahl as Dahl, the defenseman, tried to bust in. Jeremy Mounts will sit too, and the penalty on the Marist Redskins. Mounts a minor for holding. Grabbing hold of Pat Dahl. Out to the point. Here's Watts with the shot. That's high and wide. Far side. Back behind the goal. Bernier centered. And the shot again by Watts is high. And this time we lose it up into the crowd. Face-off will come outside the zone. It was the New Trier defenseman, Chris Watts, that dumped it out of the zone. And we're waiting for the television crew here. That's the reason for the delay. Now we're ready for the face-off. The face-off controlled by Cherubini. He dumps it in. Cometa with the save. Segala near side. Segala off the glass and cleared. Far side, back to Walks on the near side, back to the far side. Give and go was busted up. Pentra Costa looking to center, couldn't do so. Picked away by Bernier. Now back into the Trevians end. Pearsall near side. And up ahead, there's the Marist Redskins into the zone. Matt Hunt got the shot away. Or make that Pentra Costa. Here is Bernier, and he over-skated it. Dumped into the zone by Scott Dioper. Near side, walks back to the far side. Back to the near side, and Bernier couldn't bust into the zone. Now picked up by Pentra Costa, who clears to the Trevians end of things as the Marist Redskins continue to penalty kill. Here's Jennings into the zone. Jennings turns around. Jennings cranks. Ricocheted wide, near side. And at the point, held in the zone by Jennings. Steve Jennings with the blaster, pulled out of the air and just saved by Jeremiah Comento. That's the sort of game that Comento will have to play if the Redskins have any hope at all of upsetting New Trier in this one. Now we're ready for the face-off. The drop and the draw back to Heath. His shot ran into traffic, sent to the far side. Dahl, he got bumped off. That's defenseman in that tight. Heath tried to find the retreating Dahl, far side, and now dumped the length of the ice by the Redskins. Near side, Jennings. Steve Jennings sent it ahead for a while. Kicked free, kind of a bouncing puck dumped down to Dahl. Dahl over to Heath. Bill Heath shoots it out to center ice. Now dumped back in. The long shot. The save by Sam Eaton. Heath clears to center ice. To the near side. Mounts. Back into the zone. Picked up by Tom Durkin. Durkin to the far side. Now the Trevians have it again. Here's Bernier into the zone. Bernier shoots and scores! Matt Bernier busted in. That great speed of his. He got around the Marist defense, split it, and then took the shot and managed a one-hand shot. A little dying quail that Comento couldn't get in. Bernier unassisted. Far side, that's Walks. Walks dumps it into the zone. Trevians lead it 1-0. Back behind the goal. Heavy check on Wolf by Segala. Far side, Redskins couldn't get it out of the zone. Trevians. Cherubini got bumped. Back behind the goal line. Near side. Segala. Segala dumped it into the zone. Walks. Up ahead for Wolf. John Patience. There's the shot. Deflection just a little wide by Cherubini. Out for Walks on his off defensive side. Right into the slot. That didn't quite work. Pass by Cherubini to Wolf. And now Cherubini down on the puck and the whistle stops play. One thing you got to say for New Trier, they certainly didn't do it the easy way to get down here to the stadium. They have yet, all season long, they have not put their full team out on the ice. Injuries and suspensions as a result of a trip to Minnesota and grade problems have decimated this team. There's a deflection attempt, that's wide. At one point, they only had, I think, 9 skaters on the ice for one of their games, owing to suspensions and so forth. Jolivet, heavy check from him as he tried to bring the puck into the slot. And the shot back behind the net. Ender, far side. Trevians trying to get it out of the zone. They've had their trouble. A giveaway. There's a backhand shot just wide. Should have kept it on the forehand. Tom Dine took the shot on the backhand instead. Out to the point. The big cranker and a goal! Tom Durkin ties it up. Tom Durkin ties it up with the cranker from the point. And we're tied at 1. Offside against the Redskins. Back, Pat Dull has it behind the net, sent to the far side. Weil ahead for Bernier. Back for Weil. Rick Weil, deep into the slot. Backhand shot, just a little wide. Now into the slot, bouncing puck, bouncing, and picked up by Bernier. Puts it home! Matt Bernier! Matt Bernier puts it home with the blaster. And the Trevians have the lead 2-1. Out to the blue line and offside against the Marist Redskins. Bernier unassisted. Dine into the zone. Out to the point, held in. There's the shot by Mounts, bouncing puck. Brought to the near side. Mounts got bumped by Bernier. And they push it along there. And now they'll freeze it on that near side board. A huge crowd on hand today for Illinois high school hockey standards. Not according to the Blackhawk standards, but Illinois high school hockey standards, a huge crowd on hand. The face-off is controlled by the Trevians. Pearsall got it out of the zone. Trevians couldn't get it into the Marist end. As the horn sounds at the end of the first period of play. In the state championships, the score is the New Trier Trevians 2 and the Marist Redskins 1. We'll be back with the second period in just a moment. This is the Metro Chicago Sports Network.
I'm Veronic. You're watching high school hockey on Metro Chicago Sports Network.
Here's the drop and the draw, controlled by the Trevians. Bernier couldn't get it in the zone. Now brought into the zone by John Patience. Segala back behind the net. Ryan Segala wraps it around to the near side. Kicked in deep by Riemann. He's having trouble with it. Pearsall on him. The defenseman in tight. Now cleared out Eric Laporte. Couldn't control it. Weil got bumped off by Laporte. Laporte with the shot. Just a little wide. Near side. And again out high. And a whistle. And offside against the Redskins. This is the 21st season, or the 20th season, I think it is, 20th season of the state championships in Illinois. New Trier has actually, New Trier as a group here has won it 4 times. I'll go over that in just a little bit. Far side. Jolivet cleared back, dumped into the zone. And the whistle for icing against the Marist Redskins. Last time New Trier won it, they won it as New Trier Green in 1983 over the Loyola Ramblers. And the captain of that team is here today. They won it 2 years before that. New Trier East won it in 1981. New Trier West won it. There's a long shot from the point and a save in 1977 in the most lopsided game in Illinois State history. That team coached by former Blackhawk Eric Nestorenko, who you will recognize as the father in the movie Youngblood. He was the coach of that New Trier West team, and that team won the state championship 11-1. The most lopsided game in high school state history. A game played at the Randhurst Twin Ice Arena before about 2,500 fans. At that time, or a little bit more than that actually, about 3,000 at that time. The second largest crowd to ever watch a high school hockey game in the state. Maelstrom dropped it to Marte, shot, and a second shot, and held on by Cometto, and then some pushing and shoving afterwards. The initial shot by Marte caught the inside pad of Cometto, and it just quite didn't work, just barely. The Redskins fans below us whooping it up, the Marist crowd. Offside at the face-off. Now, the long shot, the rebound, that ran into traffic. Initial shot by Pearsall, and the rebound on the far side by Bernier. Pops free, Redskins, and knocked away by Wolf. Near side. Up ahead. Here's Bernier. One thing that's nice about Bernier's speed is he will hustle that puck into the attack zone in a hurry. And that's one of the functions that he has found for himself. Jolivet got bumped off. The puck picked up by the Redskins nonetheless. They dumped it down. They'll wash off the icing back behind the net. Dahl, near side. There's Petra Costa got the shot away in the save. At the near side, it's dumped in by Durkin. He has the Marist goal on a shot from the point. Far side, wrapped again to the near side. Jennings, he got bumped off. Puck squirted to center ice. Now here come the Trevians again. Marte, 3-on-2. Marte's shot ran into traffic. Eric Laporte circling in his own zone. Laporte out to center ice. Riemann had it briefly. Now Marte gave it up. Here's Maelstrom, shot, a goal! Two-on-0 breakaway. And it's 3-0 New Trier. Near Near side. In the new Trier end of things, Jolivet. Now picked up by Walks. Walks send it to the far side. Up ahead, Jennings. Jennings tried to strong arm his way around. Now picked up by Segala. Brian Segala back behind the net. 3-1 New Trier leads. Segala being strong armed by Malmstrom would just add that goal. Jolivet. Delay offside. A little pushing and shoving going on between Marte and Jolivet. Freeman. Near side to Redden, rather. Near side to Segala. Segala dumped it in offside. Make it icing. Ender and Marte with the assist. They goofed that one up. Bernier. Near side. Weil. Back behind the net. Sent to the far side. Eric Laporte out to the point. There's the long shot. The save. Hand pass by the Trevians. Weil. That would not have been a goal. It would have been directed in by the hand even if he did managed to get it into the goal. Dahl. Pat Dahl. Up ahead for Bernier. Into the zone and pulled down was Bernier. Slow to get up. Matt doesn't have a good game unless he has that happen at least once. Got a penalty coming up, I believe. Yep, a minor for slashing on John Patience of New Trier. Hey, George, you're quiet. He's sitting there. See the man in the green hat there on your left. George Martin, who's the unofficial New Trier cheerleader. Used to be the drummer boy at all the Chicago White Sox games. Used to walk up and down all the aisles. Drove former White Sox announcer Jimmy Pearsall to distraction. But George Martin, the unofficial cheerleader, but he's sitting there rather quietly for this one. Usually he is up jumping around and screaming and yelling and getting the fans all excited. 8:31, time of the penalty. Patience a minor for slashing. The Redskins near side, Redden. Fed it ahead, give and go play into the zone. Comes Dioper. Dioper tried to bring it to the goal himself, knocked away by Pearsall. Out to the high slot. Now there's the shot. That boomed wide. Sent to the far side. Durkin held in the zone. Dioper out to the point. Near side. Centering into the slot. Nobody there for the Redskins. Cleared by the Trevians, who are penalty killing. Puck busted up by Marte. Marte in on the breakaway. Couldn't get the shot away. Out to the point. There's the shot. The save by Comeno on the blaster from the point. Trevians get two opportunities during a shorthanded situation. The Marist team, as are most of the Catholic teams, very deliberate on taking shots. They don't take a lot of them. There's a big blaster was high and wide near side and cleared the length of the ice by the Trevians. New Trier playing a little more open style game and a little crisper on their passes. Durkin ahead, busted up by Walks and now cleared into the zone by the Trevians. Riemann. Tim Riemann into the zone. Dropped past it, and Weil was waiting for the pass. Petra Costa out there. There's a shot that boomed wide, sent to the far side, and out to center ice, and as Bernier's pulled down, and we got a penalty coming up on Marist, I believe, for tripping. It is Jeremy Mounts, his second of the game, second penalty of the game. Mounts a minor for tripping. Mounts a minor for tripping at 6:34, negating that the remainder of the power play that the Redskins had. Wild, and the penalty now over. The Trevians with the man advantage. Back at the blue line, Trevians trying to strong arm their way into the zone and cleared out. Walks. Lone defenseman back. Walks send it to the near side all the way down. That's going to be icing against New Trier. And it is icing against the Trevians. Walks was looking for somebody to break on that near side, and they never got there. If you've never seen high school hockey here at the stadium and the state championships, some games can be every bit as good as what you have seen professionally or perhaps even college-wise. I'll tell you, that game between New Trier and Glenbrook North in the semis was an unbelievable hockey game. Great game. There's a shot off the side of the net. Near side, Trevians with the man advantage out to the high slot. Heath with the cranker, and he boomed it high and wide. Near side, Pearsall ranged in off the point. Pearsall centered right in front. Shot saved. Rebound is free, and the net dislodged. And somewhere underneath the scrum is the puck. Never went in. And now Weil and Redden have a few words. Nothing to be called. The face-off coming up on the near side, inside the Marist end. The draw out and cleared. Back goes Bill Heath. Malmstrom, Keller, Mike Keller, far side to Bill Heath. Heath into the zone, tried to split the defense, too many of them there, and cleared out by the Redskins. Pearsall, give and go, and that broke down. Dine, near side, and the winger was facing the wrong way, trying to make himself onside. Bill Heath. Heath takes it to the near side, and that's Pearsall. Pearsall to the far side, and Heath. Heath up ahead, Keller. Keller gave it to Malmstrom. Give and go back for Keller. Back behind the goal, near side. Mike Keller. And now Pentracosta came in. There's Malmstrom, near side. Redden couldn't come up with it. Walks did. And offside against New Trier.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Roenick. You're watching high school hockey on Metro Chicago Sports Network.
Bottom of the scoreboard there. The shots on goal at the time. Trevians won the draw. Walks, dumps it into the zone. Penalties over, and teams are back. Both sides are copacetic now. Lewin, down he goes. Lewin bothered by Slanicki. Brian Lewin. Lewin on the backhand shot, ran into a leg. Ender bet it on the near side board. That's where Eric Laporte has it. Laporte centered, knocked out of there by Ender, and the second shot Ender got in the way of. And a penalty. No, take that back, just offside against the Marist Redskins. Offside against Marist. We're in the second period. 3-1. New Trier. A lot of great high school hockey players have played in this one. Played down here. And in fact, a new generation of high school players now. Near side. Jolivet. Marist, by the way, has never won the state championship. They came close. They lost a 1-0 heartbreaker to Frem. Saved by Eaton through the scrum. Here, Marist pressing tight. Jim Jolivet taking it to the goal. And Sam Eaton there to stop it. Mike Partland, the coach of the Marist Redskins, was telling me he's really got 3 different teams that show up for hockey games. Being a young team, he's not really sure which team shows up for any one of these games. And the whistle from the frozen puck on the far side. There's one team that decides to take shots and work the play very well. There's the team that likes to be physical and hit and spend all their time hitting and not playing hockey. And there's a third team that just doesn't show up at all and makes real dumb mistakes. And the question is, which one of the 3 Marist teams is here today? So far, it's been the second of the group. Through the slot, near side. Trevians got it into the zone. Now here's Bernier with it. Bernier. Puck is knocked down by Brian Patel, who dumped it into the zone. Taken to the far side. Dahl. Up to the blue line. Mounts. Far side. John Patience. Now Weil. Shot to goal! Rick Weil strong-armed his way in on the left wing and puts it home. And it's 4-1 New Trier. Trevians got it into the zone. Here's Heath. Sets it up, took the shot, shot it wide. Back behind the goal line. Steve Jennings to Chris Cherubini, out to the point, to the near side, and Pearsall. Pearsall dumps it back in deep. New Trier doing a much better job right now over Marist of moving that puck around in the attack zone. Offside. Heath to the far side. Jennings dumps it in. Near side and Keller. Backhand shot by Cherubini and pulled out of the air by Cometto. And then some words spoken. Between Cherubini and the Marist defenseman. That's as far as it gets. Now, Cherubini gets a minor penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct, I would gather, for going over and saying something to the Marist player after the play. Yep. Cherubini, a minor for unsportsmanlike conduct. He said something to the Marist defenseman. Redden to the far side. And on top of that, he did that right in front of Jay Cohn, the referee. And certainly in a state championship game, they're not going to let any fighting or any silliness go by. They might let a couple of questionable calls go by. There's a shot that boomed wide, near side. Trevians have the lead 4-1 in a fast-paced game. That's one thing New Trier of late has been doing with their games, is try to keep them going real quick. There's a shot boomed high and wide by Bernier. Of course, then again, they run into things like 6 overtime affairs with Glenbrook North, and that changes things up. At the blue line, it's in the zone and offside. Offside against the Marist Redskins. Sigala back to the blue line, to the near side off Maelstrom, and cleared into the zone. And actually, we lost the puck. Who's the puck and gain a faceoff? Who's the puck into the crowd, back behind the New Trier bench. As we said, I don't know what it is about this rink, but I always manage, I'm assigned a location to do my game from. And this year I was assigned the north end, right where Pat Foley actually does the games for the Blackhawks. And it just so happened that the New Trier crowd, which is of course the team that we generally cover, is over on the far side. It just happened that last year, same way, Loyola was over on that far side. And the year before, or a couple of years before that, when we were here with Deerfield was on the opposite side. That time we got a penalty on Eric Laporte here, negating the power play for Marist. I think that's a frustration penalty. Cross-checking. In 1988, or make that 87, the year that, it was 88. 1988, the first year we were down here, Deerfield was down here, and Deerfield was on the wrong side. Was on the other side, so it was, can't win for losing here. There's a long shot as the horn sounds out of the period. At the end of the second period of play here on the Metro Chicago Sports Network, the score in New Trier 4 and Marist 1. This is the Metro Chicago Sports Network, and we'll be back with the third period in just a moment. You're watching the state championships. Start the third period. In goal is the New Trier Trevian goalie, Sarah Teeding. Teeding will start off in goal for the Trevians, and thus becomes the first girl to play in an Illinois State High School Hockey Championship game. Sam Eaton has departed, having made 7 saves and given up 1 goal. Redden into the zone, dropped past it, walks out to the high slot. Segala shot it wide. It should be noted, by the way, that Sarah has already decided and been accepted, from what I understand, to Dartmouth, and will play on the girls' team at Dartmouth next year. Near side, out, and the pass over led for Bernier all the way down into the zone. Redden and Bernier. Cherubini, the shot into the slot. Cameno knocked it away, cleared by the Redskins. They are penalty killing now. Walks to the far side, the Cherubini minor over, and the minor for cross-checking on the Marist players still in effect. Out to the point. Walks to the corner. Trevians lead it 4-1. Jolivet. Cherubini. Top 3. Here's Weil right into the slot. Shot just a little wide by Marte and cleared. Sarah Teeting with her first save. Chris walks. Cherubini off his skate. Walks and given up. There's the shot high and wide by Dioper. Ran into traffic. Walks having a little trouble out there. That new ice apparently bothersome to him. Picked up by Matt Pearsall, and a whistle, and got a penalty for holding. Appears to be on New Trier. Chris walks, a minor for holding. Grabbed hold of a stick, I believe, out high. Chris walks, a minor for holding. Russ Rowe, the other linesman, I knew I'd finally get that. And that's icing. They're playing equal right now for another couple of seconds, and then Marist will have the power play. I think New Trier forgot that there was a Marist player in there. There's a shot, ran into traffic. Centered. Patience. Turnaround attempt by Pentracosta just didn't work. Laporte out to the point. Back to Laporte on the far side. Laporte cranks, and that ran into traffic. There's the shot, and Teeting with the save. Sarah with the nice save from the right wing. As Jim Miziora, the public address announcer, finally announced Sarah Teeting as the goalie for the new Trier Trevians. A nice cheer. There's the shot. Ran into traffic out front. Dine. Top 3. Kicked around a little bit to the corner. And down on top of the puck, stopping the play. Well, this will be the last state championship in this building. And there's some question as to where we will be next year. The Blackhawks want us in the United Center, but that's actually typically Chicago political decisions that may not even be in the Blackhawks' control. There's a long shot off the faceoff and the save by Saratini. Now Marte dumps it into the zone. Back behind the goal. Near side and straight up ahead. Durkin to the far side. There's the shot. And Saratini got a little piece of it. Cleared the length of the ice. Redden to the far side, out and cleared, and back in by Dahl. Cometto, near side. Redden. Straight ahead, Redden to the far side, and Laporte through the slot, near side. Out to the point. There's the big cranker, the save. The shot just a little wide. Eric Laporte muscled down Marte, and Laporte and Dahl and Dine, and we freeze it. Out to the point, held in the zone by Segala. Back behind the goal. Near side. Cleared out ahead for a while. Cherubini. Yep, and offside. .9:46 to play here in the third period. Trevians lead at 4-1. The new Trier and Marist contingents, respectively. Actually, there's another Marist group over here to our right. Out to the point. Ricochets around. Pentracosta. Laporte out to center ice. Durkin. To the far side, now picked up by Rick Weil. Weil around the man, Weil in, shot, and a goal! Rick Weil with his second of the game. He and Matt Bernier have a pair. .5-1 the score. New Trier. Weil got the shot and he dribbled underneath. And the Trevians lead it 5-1. Segala. He's bumped by Pearsall. Weil. New Trier going to play with a lot more confidence now. Up by 5-1. There's a centering attempt that was intended in the slot now for Keller, and he couldn't come up with it. Near side, and Heath out into the slot. Redden. There's the long shot to save. Near side, Weil. And they push it along the boards on that near side. Free into the slot. Out to the high slot. There's a shot, ran into traffic. Now the Trevians pick it away again and cleared out ahead. Joe Townsend just a freshman. There's a long shot saved on the long shot by Jennings as he was falling down. Cherubini with the assist on the Weil goal. Between periods, I had to go over and correct their numbers. They had Weil and Marte. The numbers crossed. Wolf up on the dasher boards. Malmstrom. Pentracosta. Right in front, a shot, a goal! From the slot. Tim Riemann. As the other half of the Marist crowd celebrating the goal by Tim Riemann. That makes it a 5-2 hockey game. New Trier leading it 5-2 over Marist on the goal now by Riemann, putting the Redskins a little closer. Jolivet to the far side. Walks. Up ahead. Redden. Pocket pick. Malmstrom. Couldn't get it into the zone. Redden. Out to the high slot. And now here come the Redskins back the other way. Drop pass time. And that ran into traffic. There's a shot into traffic. And the save by Sarah Teeting and popped out of there by the Trevians. Back the other way come the Redskins, back into the zone. Jim Jolivet. Jolivet from the right wing, boomed it wide. As we said, Marist not known for taking a lot of shots, as is the entire Catholic League, taking a lot of shots. Segala, far side, got it into the zone, back around to the near side. Wolf. Bernier, dipsy-doodle into the zone. And a penalty coming up for roughing. Frustration time on the part of the Marist Redskins. A minor for roughing at 6:55. Thought I saw that hand raised on the near side, but I had to check to make sure it wasn't icing. Brian Segala, a minor for roughing at 6:55 of the third period. Trevians lead at 5-2. Over on the other side of that scoreboard over there is the Sports Channel crew and Rich Blakey. Not Rich Blakey, Jim Blaney. Rich Blakey's a former Marist coach. Jim Blaney doing the play-by-play with Billy Gardner of the Blackhawks Alumni Association. And Jim Blaney and I are somewhat, are fairly good friends. He and I have talked a number of times, the Sports Channel crew over there. And television timeout. But Jim Blaney and I talked a couple of times. I recently been talking with the Sports Channel crew getting the publicity for high school hockey in the state. The Sports Channel Chicago now does the Illinois top 10, and that's really from me. I give the top 10 in the state, and I'm the one that got that one together. And that Sports Channel broadcast. On the far side, here's Bernier. Near side, Heath cranks it, ran into a body out front. Heath ran it into traffic and cleared the length of the ice. Near side, back behind the goal, wrap around. Oh, there's a shot just wide. Out to the point, and the whistle. Another penalty on Marist. Eric Laporte for hooking. Laporta minor for hooking. It's DJ LeVar, the head coach of Loyola. Gold over there. We just saw Lewin. Back behind the goal. Brian Lewin centered it. Give and go back for Lewin, and Petra Costa came up with it out to the point. Walks. There's the shot. A goal! From the point. There have been only 2 times when teams from the same division have met in the state championships, and both of them have been North Division. 1982-83, New Trier Green and Loyola, and New Trier Green won it 3-1. And 1975-76, Notre Dame and Glenbrook North. The referee tonight, Jay Cohn, played on that Glenbrook North team, as a matter of fact. And that one was won by Notre Dame in a game with an interesting little sidelight to it involving the worst injury to a hockey player in the state. It became kind of a sidebar to that game before about 5,000 fans. A shot, a goal! Brian Lewin with the backhander. And the Trevians convert on both ends of a 2-man advantage and lead it 7-1. Or 7-2, make it. New Trier leads it 7-2. Picked up by Jennings. To John Patience. Intended for Bernier, and that misconnections. Bernier just feeds it back to the defense. I think the Trevians are going to be fairly content on this one to sit a little bit. 2-on-1 break. Dine couldn't control the bouncing puck. Near side. Into the slot. There's the shot, the save by Teeting. And the shot from Scott Dioper. Watts and Mellstrom on the assist on the Lewin goal, and it's 7-1 New Trier. The draw back to the point. Durkin in. Sarah Teeting with the save. Patience up ahead on overled was Bernier. He goes to the corner, centered. Nobody there but a bunch of Redskins. Now there's a long shot, and near side, right in front. Jennings tried for the shot, and that missed. As we said, this isn't a good game for Bernier unless he gets bumped pretty hard. Now a little extra altercation. And Marte gets up from it, gesturing to the scoreboard, following the Marist fans getting on Marte for getting blindsided. As we said, this isn't a good game for Matt Bernier unless he gets bumped and knocked down and the helmet comes flipping off a little bit, about 3, 4, 5 times. Near side. Now Jolivet into the zone. Jolivet spreads it out, takes the shot just a little wide. We've got some debris on the ice over there. And now an extra little push, and we'll have a penalty as Sarah Teeting protects in the slot, and Jim Jolivet will go and sit 2 for, we'll watch for the signal here. Jolivet got a double minor. Minor for cross-checking and a minor for roughing on Jolivet. And it's icing against New Trier. 3:57 to play in the third period. Remember, next week on the Metro Chicago Sports Network, it's the All-Star Game. The North-South All-Star Game. Many of the players you've watched all season long on the Metro Chicago Sports Network playing in the All-Star Game. Keller up ahead for Cherubini into the zone. Walks. Far side. Cleared out to center ice. Ender. Up ahead, Keller. Long shot and the save. Walks. Ender. Ed Ender. Got it across the red line. Dumped it in the zone. Corner. Heavy check on Cherubini and cleared out to center ice. And cleared the rest of the way by Joe Townsend. The pass given up near side, New Trier with the man advantage and the big lead here in the late in the third period. And the New Trier fans on the far side whooping it up a little bit. A long shot in from the point on the dump in. Now picked up by Marte. Marte back behind the net. Marte gave it back out to the point. Back to Marte. Durkin smelled it out. Dumped it in deeper into the corner. And a penalty for elbowing coming up on Matt Bernier. Tried to hit the man and missed and got the elbow up. Little rambunctious, and Matt Bernier, who has had an excellent game tonight. Bernier sits for two. Bernier a minor for elbowing at 2:14. And Matt has certainly had a great hockey game, and he certainly, as typical of him, the intensity burned bright, fired up this New Trier team early on in the game with the 2 goals in the first period. Very typical of the style of play that Matt's played all year long. But the Trevians, a team whose one thing you can say is they certainly didn't do it the easy way. In the playoffs and in the state playoffs, they had the toughest of the brackets. Right into the slot, the puck free, but the net dislodged. You look at New Trier, and they had Highland Park. New Trier ranked 4th in the brackets. Ranked 4th, although they were really, at that point in the press polls, ranked 2nd in state. But they were ranked 4th, and they had to play Highland Park and Glenbrook North. Glenbrook North ranked number 1. Having come back from having to play Glenbrook North in the league championship game, 6 overtime affair. So, like we said, that combined with the injuries and the suspensions, it has not been an easy job of the New Trier Trevians to get here, and they're certainly showing why they deserve to be here, leading 7-2 late in the third period. Out ahead, here's Malmstrom into the zone. Malmstrom to the corner. And one thing you got to say about the Redskins, they developed a little bit earlier than people had given them credit for. This is a very young Marist team with a real decent shot at coming back next year to get here. Heath dropped past it. Near side, Cherubini. They cranker and off the glass. Far side, now give in to Mike Keller. Keller in, shot saved. Keller rebound, score! Mike Keller. Keller with his 9th goal of the season. And I'll tell you something, on a personal note, I think that's fantastic. Personal note between me and him. I think that is fantastic. I'm glad to see Mike Keller get a goal here in Chicago Stadium. Considering his personal trials and tribulations, talk about New Trier as a team, and he certainly has had some personal trials and tribulations, and to have him score a goal at Chicago Stadium, I think that's great. Back behind the net, New Trier Trevians. Straight up the ice, intended for Cherubini, far side. Into the zone. Weil looking for the hat trick, and he lost the puck off the end of his stick. Less than a minute to go in the game now. Durkin back behind the net. Near side, and we lose a puck into the crowd. Malmstrom got it into the zone. Near side, it's Durkin with the long shot. The save by Sarah Teeting. Near side. Cleared ahead. And that's it. The New Trier Trevians are state champions by the score of 8-2 over the Marist Redskins. The last in Chicago Stadium. And the New Trier Trevians are state champions. And once again, Rick Seefeld, broken leg and all, runs out on the ice. In on the celebrations, that's Dave Cromer, Kurt Wittenberg. In the cowboy hat there is Bill Heath, Cherubini. Cheering on the friends. Steve Jennings over to join in. Trevians green team are the state champions. And again, a special thank you to Sports Channel and to the Amateur Hockey Association of Illinois and the Chicago Blackhawks for letting us come down to watch this game. So this is Mark Braun. There's Tom Finks. Thank you, Tom, for letting us come down here to the stadium. And this is Mark Braun. I thank you all very much. And don't forget, next week, the All-Star game, the North-South All-Star game from Chicago Stadium. This is Mark Braun. Until next week, so long, everybody.